Hi everyone, we are Team One Europe. I'm Jia Yingxie.
I'm Pu Tongzhong.
加疑惑
I'm Xinye Zhang.
And I'm Chu Ka Lai.
As the price for land increases, the opportunity cost of using land for traditional farming rises. This raises average costs and causes the industry supply to shift left, as traditional farmers may exit or sell land for residential development, leading to higher prices and lower output. In contrast, vertical farms use less land and substitute towards capital, energy, and technology, so the production costs are less sensitive to land prices. Hence, the relative economic viability shifts towards vertical farming as long as it maintains the stable energy costs and efficient technology.
A vertical farming company must weigh the benefits and costs of expansion to determine whether increasing output is economically viable. Potential benefits include higher revenue from greater output up to the profit maximizing quantity at QPM, economies of scale that lower average costs as output expands, and the ability to meet growing local demand for food. However, expansion also involves high fixed costs for new buildings and lighting, variable costs for labor and energy, and risks related to branding, permits, food safety, and financial exposure if prices or demand fall. The company should only expand if marginal revenue exceeds marginal costs, where MR is greater than MC on the graph, ensuring efficiency and profitability. Other factors, such as price elasticity of demand for food, also influences this decision. If demand is inelastic, total revenue continues to rise until MR is equal to 0 at Q revenue max. If elastic, price cuts before this point also may reduce revenue.
Price stability occurs when the price of the goods remain relatively constant over time. In agriculture, volatility often results in unstable supply caused by weather shocks, long transport chains, and import dependence. Vertical farming enhances stability by reducing or removing these sources of fluctuation. First, vertical farming operates in controlled indoor environments, so weather, pests, and seasonal change no longer affect yields. Output can become consistent year-round, making supply predictable and reducing spikes during the bad harvests. Second, being close to consumers shortens the logistic chains and cuts exposure to fuel price changes or transport delays. Lower spoilage and steadier delivery costs translate into more stable retail prices. Third, predictable output allows long-term contracts between producers and retailers, fixing purchase price and improving planning certainty. These contracts can stabilize both producer revenues and consumer prices, since farmers can secure income without exposure to sudden market shifts while retailers avoid cost volatility. Over time, this reduces the amplitude of price fluctuations across the supply chain. Finally, by reducing import dependence, vertical farms shield cities from global food price shocks. In economic terms, vertical farming makes short-term supply curve more elastic, since output can adjust rapidly by altering growth cycles or light intensity. Consequently, prices remain more stable even when demand fluctuates.
Technological innovation can transform the market structure by making it more concentrated and capital intensive. Firstly, barriers to entry. In the short run, heavy investment in advanced technologies, such as LED lighting, creates high fixed cost. These costs can act as barriers to entry, as smaller farmers may lack the financial resources or technical knowledge to compete. However, over time, technological diffusion and cost reductions through innovation can lower these barriers. As technologies mature and become more standardized, smaller firms may adapt to them more easily, therefore restoring competitive pressures. This is shown by AC shifting in. Secondly, economies of scale. The high fixed costs of technology and infrastructure are spread over larger outputs. As production expands, AC falls, so large firms that can achieve scale gain a cost advantage over smaller producers. This advantage encourages industry consolidation, where a few efficient firms dominate urban food supply chains, leading to monopolistic tendencies, which I will expand on below. Finally, potential monopolistic tendencies. Firms that develop proprietary technology or data-driven growing systems can control entry and set higher prices as they can market power, such as companies using unique AI algorithms for yield optimization could gain higher market power by restricting access to competitors. If firms differentiate themselves through branding, like organic, or secure consumer loyalty, the market may remain monopolistically competitive.
Moving on to a problem-solving question, the proposed citywide vertical farming initiative marks a major step towards achieving a sustainable urban food production and reducing dependence on external supply chains. As rapid urbanization drives up land prices and strains local resources, vertical farming offers a high-tech, space-efficient alternative capable of producing consistent yields year-round. However, with an upfront cost equal to 10% of the city's fiscal revenue and a 5-year construction cycle, the project faces a significant financial and managerial challenges. The city therefore aims to attract broader participation from private investors, local communities, and citizens to share risk and accelerate implements. To identify the most effective strategy, this analysis evaluates the 3 proposed measurements based on the 5 key economic criteria, each ranked out of 5. Value for money assesses how efficiently each model converts public funds into measurable social and economic benefits. Higher value for money indicates greater return per dollar spent. Second, risk allocation and financial feasibility considers how costs, risk, and profits are distributed among stakeholders to ensure fiscal sustainability. And speed and scale evaluate the capacity to deliver citywide farms within the 5-year target. Equity and inclusion measures the fairness of benefit distribution. And finally, technology efficiency and government ease examine how well each model integrates innovation while maintaining simple, accountable management.
Under this model, the government invites private capital to design, build, and operate vertical farms. To make the projects financially viable, the city provides performance-based subsidies, meaning public funds are paid only when specific output or efficiency targets are met. This approach addresses the market failure of underinvestment in vertical farming because food security and environmental sustainability are positive externalities that private firms normally can't monopolize. The subsidy helps internalize those wider social benefits. By leveraging private capital, every public dollar spent attracts around $3 of private investment, improving fiscal sustainability while driving innovation and long-term productivity. This slide shows how the public-private partnership works in practice. The city government provides oversight, regulation, and subsidies, while the private SPV brings in capital, technology, and management to operate farms and supply local markets. Risks are also efficiently shared. Private firms take on construction and operational risks. Government manages policy and social obligations, and market risks are managed jointly through long-term contracts. This table highlights the main strength and limitation of this measure. In terms of value for money, private investment multiplies and the impact of public spending, though oversight is essential to keep goals aligned. Risk allocation is efficient, but complex contracts can create moral hazard if oversight is weak. Private funding boosts speed and scale to meet the 5-year target, though smaller community groups may face barriers. The model enhances equity through job creation and training, but benefits could concentrate among large investors and without regulations. Finally, technological efficiency and governance are strong due to private expertise and performance-based accountability, though transparency between multiple partners remain key challenges.
Under this model, the city forms a cooperative network where local farmers, small businesses, and community groups jointly invest in, build, and operate vertical farms. Instead of relying on private firms, this model encourages collective ownership and shared responsibility. Each member contributes labor, resources, and/or expertise, and in return receives a proportionate share of the profits. This model internalizes local benefits that private investors might ignore, such as employment, knowledge sharing, and community cohesion. By distributing profits across members, the cooperative reduces income inequality and strengthens the local economy through higher social multipliers as profits are reinvested. It also builds trust and social capital, increasing consumer acceptance of urban-grown food. As shown in the flowchart, the government's role is primarily as an enabler, providing training and technical support. Members contribute through labor and management, while revenues from produce sales can be reinvested locally. This creates an economic loop, improving income equality and public welfare. However, without a single coordinating agent, operational efficiency may decline. In terms of value for money, the model efficiently uses local labor and keeps profits within the community, but limited access to large-scale capital constrains productivity per dollar invested. For risk allocation, social risks are well spread. distributed among members, yet financial risks remain mainly on smaller members. In speed and scale, it allows quick district-level pilots, but struggles to expand citywide within 5 years. In equity and inclusion, it performs best, empowering small farmers and low-income participants through coordination costs and dominant voices arise. Finally, in technological efficiency, local innovation is fostered. Managerial capacity and decision-making speed may remain limited. Overall, the cooperative model maximizes inclusion and social welfare, but trades off economic efficiency and scalability.
Method 3 is about mobilized household saving and private households investment. This model counts in citizen capital and strengthens physical sustainability for the project. As seen in the flow chart, the tax incentive acts as a price signal, making investment in the public project more attractive than ordinary consumption or savings, shaping the supply of vulnerable funds outwards. This corrects underinvestment in vertical farming. As a result, the model crowds in private investment, expanding the total pool of funds for capital formation. The multiplier effect of public spending is amplified. Each public dollar used for tax incentives attracts multiple private dollars used for dollars in investment. Tax rate reductions exemplify a behavioral nudge, impelling to citizens' social values for supporting sustainability. They transform residents from passive taxpayers into active stakeholders. This table highlights the main strength and limitations of the model. In terms of value for money, each public subsidy crowds in multiple units of private capital, reducing government expenditure. However, tax incentives create opportunity costs through lower tax revenues and foregone spending elsewhere, with potential inefficiency if investors are purely profit-driven. For risk allocation, financial risks shared across many small investors, improving fiscal resilience, though information asymmetry may lead to moral hazard or herd behavior since retail investors often struggle to assess technological and construction risks. In terms of speed and scale, micro investments can rapidly mobilize capital in high confidence periods, but with the digital platform enabling low barriers of entry. But fragmented participation and the lack of scale may delay execution. Regarding equity and inclusion, the model democratizes ownership and fosters civic engagement. Yet, inequality may persist as higher income groups capture more tax benefits. Finally, technological efficiency and governance benefit from digital transparency and real-life disclosure, but high administrative costs and complex tax verification remain challenges.
This table summarizes how the three models perform across 5 key criteria. Measure 1. The PPP with subsidy ranks highest overall, scoring 19 out of 25. It offers the strongest balance of efficiency, fiscal sustainability, and scalability, though it performs weaker on equity. Measure 2. The co-cooperative model excels in social inclusion and community ownership, but lacks financial and technical capacity for citywide implementation. Measure 3. The citizen investment model improves public engagement and transparency, but remains fragmented and less equitable. Overall, the PPP model is the most viable and balanced option for achieving sustainable, large-scale urban vertical farming. Stepping back, vertical farming is more than a technological innovation. It is a practical response to urbanization, land scarcity, and food security. Our analysis shows that success now depends not on technology itself, but on how cities finance and manage this transition. The PPP model provides the most efficient and financially sustainable path. Yet it requires strong governance, transparent contracts, and clear performance targets to ensure accountability. To make it inclusive, cities must include social safeguards, such as local job quotas, community participation, and fair pricing, so that efficiency is matched by equity. Ultimately, the goal is to turn innovation into a system that not only feeds cities, but also connects and sustains them.